People are fucking salty and pressed and hate my guts because I'm inheriting my grandma's estate.
Hostile and like doesn't want to do anything to help with the house, doesn't want to even try to pay the bills. I did kind of find out something that I'm going to make a separate video. I'm going to put her on the lease. I expect her not to pay. If she doesn't pay, I'm going to go through the eviction process.
My grandmother recently passed, and she left her shop in New Orleans to me in her will. But my mom is forbidding me from accepting the gift, claiming—
Here are the worst mistakes that people make when they just inherited a house, and the last one can cost you the house even if you had a will. Letting the family members stay in the house without a written agreement. Let's say you just inherited a house, you live out of state, or you have your own house to worry about, and you have no need to move into the house, so you let one of your relatives or friends stay in the house. Now they've been in there for a few years, now you're ready to sell it, but they're entitled and they won't leave. Unfortunately, if you call the cops, they're gonna say it's a domestic dispute and you will have to go through the eviction process, which can take a long time, especially if your relative knows the law. Now, if you don't have money to file for an eviction, which can cost anywhere of upwards to $2,500, what you can do is sell the property to an investor and they'll buy it as is. Now, if you want to get the most for your property, I recommend allowing the investor to fully evict your family member so the investor can go in, look at the property, and make a proper offer. However, if you want to sell right away, you're not going to get as much money for the property because the investor is going to buy it as is, and because there's somebody living in the property and the investor is not allowed to go inside the property, they have to give you an offer based on the worst case scenario with the condition of the house. And what I've seen in my experience, sometimes a squatter will get upset and they'll go through and destroy the house. Mistake number 2 is leaving the house unattended. That's a hotbed for squatters or teenagers that have nothing better to do than go in the house and destroy it. What you can do instead, if the house is vacant, make sure to hire somebody to take care of the lawn bi-weekly or monthly. Make sure to put a timer on the lights so they turn on at night, so it seems like somebody lives there. If you have an extra vehicle, go ahead and park it in the driveway. If you're cool with the neighbors, tell them to look out for the property. And lastly, go ahead and check on the property here and there so that squatters don't get in the property and you might have to evict them, or worse, they destroy it. Mistake number 3, which may be the most important, is you have a will on the property, but you still don't get it because you took too long to file. According to Texas Code 256, you have up to 4 years to file the will. And if you don't, you will have to go through probate and follow the intercessory laws of Texas, which means that the property is going to go to next of kin and anybody who's entitled to the property. So what does that mean? Let's say your grandma had 4 kids. They're all entitled to that property. And let's say they all pass away, then it goes down to their kids. And now you have to share that property with your other siblings or the kids of that sibling. And worse yet, let's say you're not in contact with all your family members and you have a person that is entitled to that property, you can't find them, then you cannot officially sell that property because all the owners must sign off.